What is C? So the answers are very simple, that C is a programming language. Programming language, right? And it was developed at Bell Labs. Developed at Bell Labs. Bell Labs is a lab in America famous for its Unix operating system. And the C language main purpose was to build the Unix operating system. So it was developed at Bell Labs in America. And the author of this language was Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie, along with a man known as Brian Kernighan, developed this C language, and it was in the year 1972. C was developed in 1972. Let us look at the history of this language. Most important language from which C was derived was in 1967, a language known as BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language, emerged. Its author was Martin Richards. And based on the Basic Combined Programming Language, the BCPL, a language known as B was evolved, and it was in year 1970. The author of this B language was Ken Thompson. B was also evolved at the Bell Labs in USA. So Ken Thompson was B's author. After B developed C. So C was directly derived from B after making some advancements in technologies and some inventions. C was derived in 1972. C, and the author was Dennis Ritchie. But what happened after this was really amazing. C was so much popular that there were so much adaptations of this language that many people had their own C compilers. They had their own versions of the language. So this made incompatibility between each other, because there were a lot of companies who adopted C, like Microsoft adopted C and made their own version of the Visual C plus C compiler. There was another compiler known as Turbo C. So they had their own specifications of the language. Now, because of this, there was incompatibility. So C had to be standardized. It had to be implemented according to some standard. So the standardization process was done in 1990, a long way, 1990, by the ANSI and ISO committee. So a committee was drafted to standardize the C language, and the C language in the 1990s, developed by the ANSI or ISO community, was known as ANSI or ISO-C. Now, as C language was standardized by ANSI and ISO, so you must know what ANSI and ISO stands for. ANSI stands for, let me write it, ANSI stands for American National Standards Institute. So this is an institute that standardizes things in America, and its international counterpart is ISO, the International Standards Organization. the International Standards Organization. They just create standards. They standardize things so that there is no incompatibility between each other, so that you get to choose only one language, not variants of that language. Let us know some more facts about C. So let us know some more about C. More about C. So C is a structured language. Structured means that the language is broken down into blocks. It has a proper structure. We will come to this later, but for now remember that C is a structured language. Another fact about C is that it is mid-level. We studied the different types of programming languages in previous lectures. So C is a mid-level language. Why mid-level? I'll explain. Before that, let me write the third fact about C is that it is machine independent. So first, let us know why C is a mid-level language. C is a mid-level language because it is between high level and low level. So it has features of low level language as well as features of high level language too. So it works between high level and low level features, between high and low level. Another point that C is mid-level is because it works very close to the hardware. Very close to hardware. C has operators which let you work with the hardware, which let you manipulate the bits and bytes that determine the function of a hardware. And the third point is that it is as good as a high level language, as good as high level. So that is why it is a mid-level language. It comes between the low and the high level language. C is machine independent because it works on different processor architectures too. Be it Intel, be it AMD, C works well. It also works on different operating system. So this makes it platform independent too. It works on Linux, it works on Windows, it also works on Mac. This stuff, this feature is obtained because C is a compiled language. So it is because of a compiler. So a compiler can translate the same program for different processors. It can translate the same program according to different operating systems. So C is platform independent as well as machine independent. Now let us know about the features of the C language. So it has got a lot of features. Let me write all the features here. Features. The first feature is that C is a robust language. C is a robust language. Bring any program of any complexity. C can solve it. You can solve it using the C programming language. It is robust. It can handle everything. The second feature is that it is very efficient and fast. Efficient and fast. Why fast? Because it works very close to the hardware. It is as good as a low-level language. And why efficient? Because it solves almost all problems. It solves problems like a high-level language. So that is why it is efficient as well as fast. The third point is it is very easy to learn. Easy to learn. Why? because it has got only 32 keywords. You don't have to learn each and every keyword, and you can always learn 32 keywords, right? So it is very easy to learn. What is a keyword? We'll learn about it later, but it has only 32 keywords. And why? The most important point is that it is easy to learn because it is a high level language too, and it is English like, so it's easy to learn. The fourth point is that it is highly portable. We learned that C was machine independent language. That is why it is a highly portable language too. If you write a program for Windows operating system and you want that it should run on the Linux operating system too, so you can port your application from Windows to Linux. You just have to change a little code and then you are ready to run on Linux. That is why it is highly portable. The fifth point is it is well suited for structured programming. Well suited for structured programming. Structured programming means you structure your problem well and then solve it according to a programming language. So it is well suited for structured programming language. As C language is structured, you can break your program in structures and then solve it. So C is well suited for such type of problems. The final feature is that it is extensible. One of the features which makes C highly popular in the software world. It is extensible. If there is anything among your problems that C cannot offer, you can write your own extension to the language. You can write your own libraries and extend the functionality of this language according to your needs. So it's extensible. So these are the features of the C language.